Yo guys, welcome back to the channel, and it is time for the game week 2 of the Premier League review of what went on this week. So we started off then with Friday night football in West Ham versus Chelsea, the London derby, and it was a game that I spoke about in the preview for the game, saying that West Ham are in a bad position, which is why Chelsea will win, and this proved, and West Ham United, you feel like, could be in a tricky situation this season as they were poor. I think that Lucas Paquetá showed his quality, and I think it's crucial for them to keep on to him. For West Ham, though, it is worrying the start to the season. They've had conceding 8 goals after 2 games, the most they've ever done. And I think even Bowen, etc., the players like that don't look good. And the thing that I've noticed with West Ham after the opening 2 games is that they're playing, kind of 5 at the back with Diouf and Wan-Bissaka coming in as wing backs. And they're so open defensively. And for Chelsea, I think there is a few concerns about the defence. I think they probably need a few defenders, which I think we all knew anyway. So I think that is, but I think it was good for João Pedro to get on the score sheet and to score 5 goals, but it was very easy for Chelsea. But, of course, Chelsea pick up the first win of the season. Manchester City, Tottenham then. I did say in my preview that I think this game will be a draw, and my feeling was that Tottenham would always get something out of this game, because watching Manchester City versus Wolves, the high line they played wasn't great, and Manchester City pick up the first defeat of the season to Tottenham in a 2-0 loss. But we know they always struggle to Tottenham, but I think for Manchester City, and it's still early on, but I don't think it's still quite right for them at the moment, defensively, etc. They looked better when Rodri came on, which is what I think we all know that they would do. But I think in this game, I think we saw a lot more about Reinders. I mean, Cherky started, didn't do a great deal. Same for Reinders once again. And I think from Thomas Frank, I think it was a very good game tactically. I mean, the second goal, I think, proves it pretty well as well. They did a very aggressive press. Did Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester City, that Manchester City struggled with. And I think for Manchester City, they still have stuff to work on. For Tottenham, 2 wins out of 2. And this season, they look very much improved. And Brennan Johnson, Rich Olsen got an assist, but still, I think, is he that finishing player for Tottenham up front? I'm not sure. And Kudus, once again, did what he needed to do. But João Paulinho, with what a performance that was yesterday. I'm not sure how he didn't get man of the match, but he got the goal, but also he is absolutely brilliantly defensively. Then the first of the 3 o'clock kickoffs was Brentford versus Aston Villa, and I also said in the review that you don't really know what you're going to get from Brentford, and it's a big 1-0 win for Aston Villa. I think they need to sign some players because the team just looks a bit meh, is the only way to really put it, and I think they need to improve the squad depth, etc. So I think they'll be active in the market, as we know they're looking at Jackson, Nkunku and Asensio. So I think they'd like to bring in another forward. And then from Brentford's point of view, I thought Michael Kiyode had a brilliant performance yesterday, and I also think that he is a brilliant future right back in the Premier League. So it's a big win for Brentford yesterday. And then the 2 promoted teams played each other in Burnley and Sunderland, which I said could be a 6-pointer after only 2 games into the season. And when the 2 promoted teams always play each other, it's always one of them where really it's more of a championship game that gets played. And yesterday, Adingra played well for Sunderland. Sunderland had chances. Burnley also had a goal from Lyle Foster disallowed early, which I think should have been given, to be completely honest. But then Josh Cullen, the new captain of Burnley, put them 1-0 up, and then Jadon Anthony with a late goal, 2-0 for Burnley. So it's a big win for Burnley, and I think the relegation battle is going to be intriguing this season, as it's a big win for Burnley yesterday. Then Bournemouth, first home game of the season, faced Wolves. Not really a lot to say on this one. 1-0 Bournemouth, pretty comfortable for them. Wolves had an early chance, but apart from that, it was pretty comfortable. Semenyo with another assist for Bournemouth, and for Wolves, you suspect they're going to be struggling this season. at 5:30, Arsenal faced Leeds, the first home game of the season, and I think we all expected an Arsenal win, and it was just intriguing for what type of game it would be, if it would be a 1-0 or a 5-0 to Arsenal. And after the first 30 minutes, Arsenal really struggled, and I think that's something you got to look at, where I think this season we're looking at probably the same Arsenal, where they're probably going to be too reliant on set pieces. I mean, Gyökeres scored 2, a penalty then. His first goal was very poor defending. I think Leeds were poor yesterday, but I think after this game, I think Arsenal, to be fair, brilliant win to get 5 goals. Obviously, Saka went off injured, but I've still seen more of what I saw last season, where they're too reliant on those set pieces goals. So Arsenal, though, with a big win once again for Leeds. Can they recover from a 5-0 loss, the second game into the season? Crystal Palace faced Nottingham Forest, and after the whole European situation, and Dan Ndoye with an assist again for Nottingham Forest, after I think he's going to be a great addition. But Ismail Assar got the opener for Palace, and it was a 1-1 draw in a game that probably was the right result. And then Everton's first game at the new stadium versus Brighton, and it was a game where I think Everton, to be fair, got pretty lucky. Brighton missed a lot of chances, shall we say, but Jack Grealish with 2 assists. And Everton, for me, looked like they've got a really nice balance up front with Dewsbury, Ndiaye, Barry and Jack Grealish. So for Everton, it's a good win and a good first win of the season. And Jack Grealish looks sharp, and it's a good win for Everton. Then at 4:30, Fulham faced Manchester United. And we know Craven Cottage is a tough place to go, as it is for so many away games in the Premier League. Now, Manchester United started off very well, where you think Matheus Cunha probably should have scored a couple. Man United started well, then they dropped off, and then Fulham really did dominate. But then, against a run of play, really, it was an own goal from Rodrigo Muniz, unlucky. But then we know Iwobi set up Smith Rowe for a good goal to make it 1-1, and it ended 1-1. I think for Manchester United, we saw little signs of last season creep in in that second half, especially. I think Sesko's not up to speed yet, so I don't think we can really judge him. Cunha looks like a great addition for Fulham. It looks like more of the same for them. And do they really need to add any players? Let's wait and see, because I think they would fine personally. Then last night's game at 8 o'clock, Newcastle United versus Liverpool. Newcastle United, Anthony Gordon had a big chance, and it was a game where Liverpool didn't really switch on after 30 minutes, but then Ryan Gravenberch scored a goal really against a run of play, but a brilliant finish. And I think that Gravenberch proved his weight in goal for Liverpool against Newcastle. And then after that, we know Anthony Gordon got sent off, which was a red card, a stupid tackle from Gordon. But then, just 20 seconds into the second half, Hugo Ekitike again with a beautiful finish. Cody Gakpo with 2 assists. And you thought it was game over at 2-0. But, as we know, the Premier League is a special league. And it was Newcastle United who managed to get 2 goals back after just constant set pieces and making Liverpool like they're playing with 10 men. But then, I've watched Liverpool in pre-season. Rio Engamoa was really the star of the pre-season for Liverpool. And it was a beautiful move by Liverpool. A beautiful dummy from Szoboszlai into Rio Engamoa with a brilliant finish. And Liverpool, they aren't at the best, but to pick up 6 points against Bournemouth and Newcastle is brilliant. And we know there's that big fixture next week. So that is it from me. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.